And if you feel like, like just throwing the towel, I would say just go back to these interviews and see, and get back and refresh yourself and start from again. Like
absolutely, get inspired by it,
get
by those
inspired
videos.
by that, and don't give up on it. Like
You're right,
keep
you're
at it,
right.
and just let all these situations just drive us out.
Yeah, it's so easy for that to happen, and in the end, your art will suffer by it if you give up and resist, and you have to see the tough times, the pain, the tears, equally as joy, as happiness, because it's all valid. It's all valid for your work. Beauty comes out of all these miseries and dark places. So yeah, I strongly suggest what you said. You got to hang in there in a sense. And like you said, I mean, it does inspire you. I mean, I do it. I search for those types of videos and where artists are creating and all these great things are happening, and I go and see stuff like that, and it inspires me, and I want to kind of get that going as well.
Yeah. That it is,
Yeah.
like going back, and it's so beautiful that to have that footage.
Absolutely. That's a great thing, right?
Because
technology wise.
Yeah, it's just something of the mind that no matter what we live, sometimes as time goes by, you might feel like, did I live that?
Right.
Was I there? Like,
that's right. Yeah, you're right. And it's interesting because you need that, that it did exist, and the perfect way to validate that you did exist in that moment is through a video, or obviously photography, but photos or videos of you, and it's magical to have that as an archive and being able to see it and share it. And I think that's a great thing about technology these days. We could actually have that documentation. True. Right.
That is true. That's a big difference from the artists of the past.
That's true. That's true. Imagine how did they deal with it? It's here you are, obviously maybe 300 years up to 800 years, and these artists would obviously get together, kind of like what we're doing it, but they didn't have, that thing where
the Polaroid, right?
Yeah, the Polaroid, or something to record. So they basically, if those people died, it never happened, kind of thing,
right?
It's
especially if like your family members and friends doubted you, and like like you always have that struggle, and like if it was hard now, at least now you can say, hey, I got some footage, I got some photographs,
right?
But like you're saying, the artists from the past,
yeah.
I mean, how nuts was it?
Imagine that, huh?
Like imagine Van Gogh, like
yeah.
We don't even know if he was in there, and if he would have seen himself. Right. Like footage of him, he might have gone back and be sane, but maybe that drove him insane. Like, am I doing anything?
Right, that's true. Yeah, you're right, man. Or imagine being that last artist standing and telling these great stories that you experience to a younger, say, generation or new group of people, and they don't believe you because they think, oh, yeah, you're crazy, you're making things up. And it's unfortunate because there probably were some amazing experience that they did with their friends, and if you're like the only one alive at that point, then
that's true.
It doesn't really. People probably will say, "Nah, yeah, you're over exaggerating. That didn't happen," but it might have truly happened, or it did happen, but they don't have documentation to prove it.
That is true.
And fortunate for us that we do have these videos to say, "Oh yeah, back 10 years ago, we had this thing." Event space and great people and great artists, and we're not just talking shit in a sense, we're actually, hey, I could press, this button here, play, and you're going to see videos that it did happen, kind of thing, right?
Yeah. And that's one of the reasons like why we're here doing this podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's like, it's becoming more norm.
That's true.
Like for us to be out here and like not be afraid and like tell your story, share with the world.
Yeah.
Take those pictures, because I remember, as a photographer a few years ago, like, I don't know, I'm talking about 10, 15 years ago, people would be shy to come out on camera. They'd be like, don't take my picture. And now they're
Right.
like, selfie, please. Am I coming
That's
out?
true.
They're like, jump in there.
Very true. You
But
know,
back then, they're
yeah.
like, no.
No, we're all private. I guess somewhere down the line we signed the waiver saying my life is not private anymore. You know,
Yeah.
like okay, I guess we could do all these pictures and you know the world belongs to the public now. Every human belongs to the public now. It feels like
Yeah, it's what social media's done,
with
right?
social media as well. Yeah,
Facebook,
Yeah.
Instagram, TikTok.
I guess technology took that, right?
Yeah.
It took your privacy and made you okay. It convinced you that it's okay to be public.
Like, you know what you were talking about, like the candy and
Yeah.
like a kid in the candy shop.
Yeah,
It makes, social media's that, I think.
yeah,
It makes you want the likes, want the thing. Like, we're a little more mature,
Yeah.
but like we know how to handle that. But I feel like if it would have caught us
sure.
during like we were like I don't know, our teenage years.
Teenage, man.
right?
Imagine.
Like,
yeah.
You're like, oh,
I
how
know
come,
it's
you
so
know?
important. It's so important to have
Wow.
those likes, and based on that, it could, I'm sure the kids go through depression as well,
Yes.
and instant gratification when they do get a like,
Yeah.
all these triggers, emotional triggers that it does to someone.
Wow.
Yeah, it's intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, wow. We can't even imagine it
I
because
know.
we're not there,
Yeah, thank
But,
goodness, right?
whew, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, if we had our struggles,
yeah,
in school and stuff,
yeah.
these young kids, I mean, wow,
They're
they're just of a
just-
different generation.
I
that
know.
They're just dealing with like you said, instant gratification, and they're just probably compulsive, super compulsive. Like
Yeah.
they just want to keep posting and
Yeah.
posting and grabbing that attention.
And it's interesting because technology came in our time period, so in a sense we are the guinea pigs.
Yeah,
The
that
kids
is
are the
true.
guinea pigs. So there's not enough history yet to say treat them. Like hey,
Yeah.
there's we're still learning from based on this experiment that we're going through right now.
That is
know?
true. Yep.
Yes.
We don't even know what's coming.
We don't even know what's coming. I'm sure later on, 20 years down the line, there's going to be like psychologists, almost like a doctor telling you, okay, this is the healthy amount of dosage a kid can spend on social media or something,
But watch out, it might be an AI robot telling us that.
Might
It might
be.
not even be a human being
That's true.
recommending anything now.
I know. I know. It's
Like, go look at, what, this robot doctor is going to attend you,
yeah.
He's going
Isn't
to
that
diagnose
crazy?
you, and
We
you're like,
program them exactly for you.
you take this, like, you won't even be a human being.
Imagine
like,
that.
Yeah.
All you do is basically there's a robot doctor, and all you do is get all your information from your health and basically put a USB port and put all your information there.
Yeah.
And he's gonna know everything, how to operate, what you need exactly. I think it'll be pretty interesting in a sense.
It's mind-blowing.
It's mind blowing.
And that's going back to the arts. That's what I love about art, is that it inspires you to educate yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting, kind of like you said about art, and it's just for me, what it does, it kind of makes me step away in a sense from humanity, and just makes me observe and see everything in a different perspective in a sense, and
Yeah.
I love that way of thinking and viewing, but yeah, it's exciting. I mean, obviously we're experiencing this really interesting evolution in humanity, incorporating it with technology, and then I kind of, what you just said right now made me think. So technology is going to obviously getting better. Literally this technology can start healing us in ways, and is it right? What I'm saying, that I'm not saying that as right or wrong, but I'm saying like it is, because now we're obviously the world keeps on increasing in population, and what us as humans, do we want to preserve the humans to live longer in a sense? Would that make sense? I don't know. I'm just thinking off in a sense,
Yeah. That's
what's the benefit, I guess, to
what is the
prolong,
benefit? Yeah. Like, I mean, I feel like it's just all because I guess there's different interests.
Maybe
Like,
money, financial.
Yeah, like I guess like there's
Right.
different interests. Like the general public, obviously, our interest is to be healthy and to live
Sure.
longer and to
Sure.
have a good life.
Yeah.
But we just never know what the motives of the people on top is. Like,
exactly.
they paint a good picture, and it's like
Right.
a pretty picture. Like, oh, it's going to be this, but
Yeah.
we just don't know. Like you said, guinea pigs.
Yeah.
Like we don't. I mean, we were just like going through the times and whatever. But like now, you see the teenagers, and they're so addicted to these
Yes,
devices, and it's
yeah.
and like parents and everyone's like, yeah, that's normal. Like,
Yeah. There's probably not enough studies yet, too short of a period to fully understand if it's good or bad, or the consequences. We
That's
don't know
true.
the full consequences yet.
but I feel like we could tell, right, a little bit. Like,
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
we
We
know
could.
how dangerous it is for
It
us.
is.
Like sometimes I don't know. I always say like take a break,
Yeah.
go to the park, attend a show, an art show,
Yeah.
check out the next shows.